Can a nation only rise higher, no higher than its women? Can a nation rise only no higher than its women? In today's discussion, we are going to be discussing Sara Suten Seti's powerful discussion. Now, this was done like in 2017, but I think that we need to bring this back up again because right now there's so much red pill and this, that, the other rhetoric going on. And I want to also cover Yada Awakening. You know, he's been discussing, about male and female relationships and catering to your woman. And I want to like have a conversation about like, should men be catering more kinder to their women? Without further ado, let's go.
DJ Genesis Detroit. Truth in the algorithm. Welcome to the live stream.
Yeah, live stream junkie with the mic turned on, breaking down the matrix while the lights stay on. Politics, religion, yeah, we question every claim, while the media playing narratives and shifting every frame. Ancestors speaking through the wisdom of Ifa, cosmic knowledge shining like a distant star. From Detroit to the world on a digital stage, dropping truth bombs every time I hit the page.
Welcome to the channel where the truth get deployed.
DJ Genesis live from Detroit,
breaking down the system, every lie gets destroyed.
Tap in, subscribe, you rocking with the voice.
Welcome to the channel,
where the truth get deployed.
DJ Genesis live from Detroit,
breaking down the system, every lie gets destroyed. Tap in, subscribe, you rocking with the voice.
Debates on fire, got the comments going crazy, asking questions that the system can't face me. From ancient civilizations to the modern day lies, connecting dots that they hide from the public eye.
Knowledge of self, yeah, the ancestors guide. When the full moon rising for the spiritual tide.
This the place where the truth gets exposed.
Every live stream, another chapter unfolds.
Welcome to the channel where the
truth get deployed.
DJ Genesis live from Detroit.
Breaking down the system, every lie gets destroyed. Tap in, subscribe, you rockin' with the voice.
DJ Genesis Detroit. Truth seekers unite, 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 unite.
Stay away, stay away, stay away. Stay questioning.
All right, so I want to welcome my special guest here, Zion Warren. And I really wanted to bring him on because he's going to be talking about things from a Rastafarian Christian standpoint, also as a man, because I didn't want to be only up here talking about how a woman should be, treated without having a male perspective. So without further ado, welcome to the channel, Zion.
Shalom, sis. Hold on a second. I'm just trying to get everything together. I'm sharing on my page. I'm right here.
Okay.
Bless up everybody, all the people in the viewers, and bless up.
Without further ado, I'm gonna just go ahead and play the video. And this is Yada Awakening. And he's actually discussing, he caters to his woman. And he gets a lot of flack for his videos he does about how he treats his woman. Like a lot of men are like, you're a simp, you're a this, you're a that, blah, 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 blah. Especially nowadays, we have the Red Pill movement. It's always about the women are bad, this, that, the other. So let's get into what he has to say.
We're global. Our products are going global. We have our ministry, Crowned in Covenant, where we elevate in the minds and bodies and hearts of the women and elevate men as well. Because a lot of people think men just don't rock with me, but there's a lot of brothers that do agree with me. So I'm extremely happy to be back here in Texas.
That's dope. You said you deliver your own babies.
Yeah,
Tell me, what is the process of that? How did you get into that? I'm just curious.
Truth be told, all I have to do is catch. the woman does all the work.
Nah, for real.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My wife is strong. She's the heart of our family, and she's absolutely amazing. So, she says, baby, I'm going natural. We're going natural, no medications. And all I have to do is support her while she's pushing, catch the baby. And then after the baby comes out, make sure she's taken care of, make sure she has the proper nutrition, the proper love, the proper environment. So, man, we thriving, brother.
Yo, that's a blessing. What is it about a natural birth versus a birth in the hospital that makes it different? I'm just curious. Again, this is a learning experience. I love when y'all get on this couch. Y'all provide so much great feedback and knowledge and wisdom that we get from this. Can you please explain to the people that don't understand what the difference is?
The trauma. A lot of people don't understand the trauma that a child goes through while being delivered or born inside of a hospital. So let's think about this, right? First of all, they go against the laws of nature. They tell a woman to lay on her back and push. This goes against the law of gravity. So it's better for a woman to squat, to push, because now she's in a squattal position and gravity is helping her, or her to be on her knees and bending forward. My wife, we do water births and lotus births. So that means with the lotus birth, we leave the placenta attached. In hospitals, as soon as the baby comes out of the womb, they grab the baby and collect the placenta, not allowing the baby to get enough of the stem cells from the placenta.
What do you think about that? Do you think it's better for a woman to, give birth in that way? And I know you're a Rastafarian, so I know they not giving birth in no hospital. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they are.
No, excuse me. In some instances, you might need a hospital, but however, no, that is the natural way that the body, biologically women are, with physicality. It's the way they're designed to actually get childbirth. So yes, I absolutely agree. Even when, excuse me, when my daughter was being born, I had to deliver my daughter. Right? We didn't make it to the hospital. However, we had discussions about finding a midwife that did it, the natural childbirth way with the pool and the whole nine. We had actually discussed that for a long time, but at the moment we didn't, we couldn't find that kind of opportunity. That was in 1996. My son and my son's mother, right? That was a little different. She also wanted to do that way, but the hospitals and everything, when she went into labor, she went into labor early, and so my son was premature for like a year to the day that he was supposed to be born. So that wasn't a conducive option. They always want to try to C-section everything now. So we got jammed up with that. So we were supposed to try and get, a natural midwife and birthing situation. You know what I mean?
How important do you think it is for the man to be there, at the hospital?
Well, absolutely, that's absolutely important. You know what I'm saying? Not just for mom and her strength, but also for the child and the bonding situation. When my daughter and my son was born, I held my children. And for the men, psychologically also, the bonding process begins at day one. You know what I'm saying? At minute, you know what I'm saying? 0 point. You know what I'm saying? It starts then. So yes, men should be there. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? There's a spiritual bond, and there's a biological and neurochemical bond that begins right on day one.
And especially if you end up having to go get a C-section, that could be devastating.
Oh, absolutely, y'all.
Can't bond with that child.
She was open, and she couldn't, she couldn't even hold the baby immediately because they had to sew her back up, my son's mom. So I held the baby, you know what I'm saying? And I was
the business that happens as they're getting sewn up, and you went to go hold the baby, and the mama's up there going through hell on wheels.
Right. And you need to be there. You need to give her support. She needs that strength. You know what I'm saying? With all of the mortality rates and stuff like that, just a little strength and a little support goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? It really does. And she needs your emotional support. She needs your spiritual support. She needs your strength. You know what I'm saying? When she's at that moment, if you care about your children and you care about the person who is bringing your child into this world, you need to be there.
Amen. Thank you so much. Let's go.
So when we give birth to our children, we leave a placenta attached so our children can get all the stem cells that it needs. And then rather than cutting it off, the placenta or the umbilical cord falls off naturally. And this is the way God intended it. And then we have to understand as well, the first thing a child needs when it comes into this world is the nervous system to be regulated. And the only way that a child's nervous system can be regulated is when it's laying on the mother, because it's memorized the mother's heartbeat, because it's been in the womb for 9 months. So as soon as a baby comes out, the baby should lay on the mother's chest while it's trying to regulate its own nervous system, because you have to understand our children don't know the lights, the sound.
Right.
It's just everything's just throwing them off. And the only thing that will bring them comfort is the heartbeat of their mother, the skin, the touch of their mother, releasing the oxytocins within the child and the mother to bring them closer while bonding.
How did you learn that information? Was it something that you researched? Was it something that came natural to you?
Traveling. And then my wife saying, I'm delivering all my children naturally. So I got to study, because birth is, for a woman, the closest thing to death. So I have to make sure, because when we talk about provision, most men only think about finances, but provision is mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. So it's my job to become a scientist and study the body of my woman. Because if I say I love her, I must learn her. And that's what I did. I want to know her anatomy. I want to know what foods feed her body at a cellular level. I want to know what foods make her moody. I want to know about her hormonal cycle, the endocrine system, the nervous system, the lymphatic system. So I study the woman. And one thing about the woman, her body is extremely complex. And this is the beauty of the woman. And a lot of men might hate what I'm about to say. But when it comes to this planet, the woman is God. And I'm not saying God as the supreme being that created everything, but the woman is the greatest manifestation of God in physical form. And we can talk about this at a cellular level when you're ready.
You know what's so fascinating to me is that
what are your thoughts about what he said so far?
I think he's showing a level of obsession that is like he's figured out a way to heal from being a freaking daggone a womanizer. Okay, so this is what I consider extreme. Yeah, it's extreme because at the end of the day, like, listen, you're placing, saying the woman, saying at the very pinnacle. Which, listen, as a husband, he can do that. However, men have importance. You have importance too to the family. So to place her on a pedestal without placing yourself there as well, being a child, it's absolutely absurd to me. You know what I'm saying? I call it. It's like it's putty pandering. It's putty pandering, and that's too much. Okay, that becomes an obsession. And there's some men, so I don't like to use the term simp, but in this regard, he is totally minimizing his own importance. So he's placing her on this high pedestal that he himself does not share with her. I don't think that's necessarily mentally healthy. It's just like dudes who have multiple women. They desire multiple women. They desire to touch as many women as they can, and if they're not able to, it hurts their feelings to not be able to have some form of effect or sexual or emotional effect on a woman. Those dudes are obsessed as well, and that's not healthy. It's simply not healthy.
But what if she's pedestal just as much as he's pedestalizing
I
her?
believe in unicorns. Trust me. Listen, I'm a total romantic, and I love my I still hold feelings, but some of the women that I've dated, like I literally just apologized to an ex. She added me back. Apologized to her for my and I think she's amazing. I'm looking at her, I see her doing so well. Beautiful children. She is on her grind, and I love her for that. And she's amazing to me. I'm not minimizing, her, but I can't place somebody above me when I'm trying to meet them on an equal playing field. I'm necessary as well. And when you like at that point, like, it's like, listen, I kiss feet and all of that. I'll rub back. I'll freaking cook for you, baby. I will pay. I will cater to you, not to every woman. Every woman ain't for me. Though is she God? She's divine, certainly, and so am I as a person that she allowed. That I was a champion to win such a prize. That means that I have some intrinsic divine value as well, because she chose me. This amazing freaking daggone unicorn, chose me at some point in time. So there had to be something good about me, Negro. There had to be something divine about me that she saw. The leadership, the qualities, the protection, and nurturing. Men have a way of nurturing. See, this dude is like, oh well, it's only, you just lay the baby on her. I absolutely agree that a baby should lay on the mom's chest. However, there's also a oxytonal bond between the child and the father. Why is he leaving that out? Because he wants women to eyeball him. Don't pander so much. Stay focused on your wife and stop trying to freaking daggone impress the other women in the audience, dude.
Okay, let's go.
You preach family, right?
Yes.
You preach being a man. But for whatever reason, it rubs so many people the wrong way.
Yes.
It's funny, like it's the same thing like when they look at Sierra's husband, Russell, right? And he's nothing but a stand-up man, but you see all these toxic comments towards him.
Right.
Why do you think people gravitate towards negativity when you're only speaking about being a man? At the end of the day?
This is self-rejection now. We have to understand the average man in America is eating a highly processed diet, drinking a lot, and then marijuana is everywhere now. So everybody's getting high. Everybody's eating fried foods. Everybody's drinking alcohol. And we have to understand what this does to the male's body. So when we're indulging in this type of behavior that's unnatural, it releases an enzyme called amoritase. And amoritase is an enzyme that converts, listen to me, audience, it converts testosterone into estrogen. And this is why these men are complaining and whining and acting feminine, because at a cellular level, you are behaving emotional because you are hormonally imbalanced. And it's sad because a lot of men say women are emotional, but in truth, men have become extremely emotional. So when a man sees another man thriving in ways he wish he could, rather than applauding it, man, you're doing a great job, minister, you gotta keep going, they say, oh, he's showing off.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, that's objectionable, and it's just a total ad hoc. He's effeminate himself. I just look at him. Look the way. Come on, B. This dude is effeminate. He look like he got makeup on right now. Stop it, bro. Yes, I'm glad you're doing good. I'm glad you got a great wife and awesome sauce. But he want to turn around and try to minimize other men. And certainly there are men who are weak. But to say that men should not have emotions is absolute freaking daggone gender bending freaking daggone propaganda. Women want to shame men for having emotions. Men are trying to shame men for having emotions. Bro, the way his head is tilted aside speaks volumes. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. You ain't that masculine either. And you over here on TV trying to putty pander to other women. And he agree. I don't think he's doing too much.
He's doing too much. Okay, well, here's the Lord.
Too much.
We're doing way too
Oh man, his wife ain't happy for real. Oh, them children ain't happy. It's because it's the estrogen and the men that's going against their natural nature of provision. So now they're looking at me as the enemy because I'm showing them in real time what it means to be a man. And when they see this, they look at themselves and say, oh man, he ain't it for real. I'm it for real, even though they can't do nothing for nobody.
Shout out the chat. We have Awesome Mommy, I think it is. She said, what does he think the solutions are?
Solutions to what?
That's a good question. I don't know what. I guess maybe she's asking, what do you think the solutions to men being men and not harboring feelings toward people trying to give the right instruction?
So let me talk to the sister. First and foremost, women have to stop catering to men and stop lowering their standards to be with men that they say they love, or the men say they love you, but they take you through all types of ups and downs and hells. I need you to understand who you are at a biological level, because you are divinely supreme. And I need you to understand this as well. A lot of men are so quick to scream that women are emotional. Women shouldn't be leaders. Women are too moody. But in truth, women, I need you to hear the science. So when a man comes to you saying you're too emotional, you're unfit to lead, you tell them, I have a corpus callosum. And this is a bridge in your brain that's thicker than the bridge inside the male's brain, and it connects the left and right hemisphere. So you can go from logical to emotional, from emotional to logical, because God wired you to be able to maneuver when things get high emotionally, because you give birth to children. Now, in men are only emotional or they're logical. They can't bounce back and forth naturally unless they learned it, because their corpus callosum is more thinner than inside the woman. So ladies, I need you to stop lowering your standards And if you have children and you're single parents, don't overly love your son. If he falls, don't run over there and dust.
What are you saying?
I said, what in the Dr. Sebi pseudo? Nigga, stop.
Really?
No, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, man, we have the logical and we have the emotional. He just got finished shaming men for having emotions, which is absolutely absurd and freaking daggone retarded. But now we just can't jump from one to the other. Women can do both. Women have great abilities. Great abilities. But what he's doing now right here is, you know what I'm saying, he's trying to minimize men and elevate women's gifts and the blessings that women have due to their biology, you know what I'm saying, on this super divine perspective, and making us a freaking daggone ants, bruh. That's absurd. I have a mother and a father. And biologic, I'm formed the way I'm formed for specific function. It does not minimize my position at all. And why I have to think logically at a separate time than being able to think emotionally. That's absurdity. This is all rhetoric. And this dude is sweating so hard to get other women's attention right now. It's retarded. It's shameful.
Let's go.
Him off every time he falls, because he will grow up believing a woman is supposed to come to his aid every time he fails. So you want to know what the real solution to the problem is?
Wait, hold on.
The rules of nature. What
do you say?
We can bring that right back. Oh, I forgot to say this one thing. So he minimized men to solely provision. So I'm just a freaking daggone. I'm a drone ant. No, I'm a mammal. I'm not a freaking daggone hornet, bro.
Provision is not making you into a drone. That means that you are
No, but that's not the only thing I'm good for. Feeding you and rubbing your feet is not the only thing I'm good for.
Men can be very nurturing. Yeah, it can be extremely.
Now, there's more than that too. There's planning and establishing certain things. Warfare, building things. You know what I'm saying? My Uncle David can daggone take apart a freaking daggone whole engine and put it back together in less than 24. He would take your whole car till your car is just a hull and everything is outside of it. Put that mother effer back together, and by 1 a.m. you'll be driving it and it'll be moving better than it ever moved when you bought it first from the car lot.
Well, isn't that provision though? Isn't that provision?
But that's not provision. That's not. It's more than just provision, because I'm not just doing that for you know what I'm saying, to provide. I'm doing that for practical reasons. But it's not just to provide for my wife. It's not an offering like I'm some kind of, I have to, you know what I'm saying, build this so that for women solely. This is for humanity in itself, and that's divine.
Right.
It's for your children too. It is a provision, but at the same time, it's freaking daggone engineering genius. Not just provide. I could go out there and freaking daggone kill some squirrels and cook you a pot of stew. You wouldn't even know.
Please don't cook me no damn stew.
My down south ladies are over there like, okay.
I just saw a damn vulture.
You got coon too. So you know what I'm saying? Like, providing is just simply feeding and providing what, you know what I'm saying, a household and all those things. But you're making it seem like a man doesn't have freaking daggone value. Who wants to be that? You know what I'm saying? Except for somebody who only wants to be shine and be and get the attention of women. Who, you know what I'm saying? And it's so superficial. So now, come on, bro. We both have divinity and we both have our functions, and neither one of them is higher than the other.
This is provision for a man extends far beyond mere financial support, encompassing a holistic responsibility to nurture his family or partner physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. It is a proactive whole man approach, as discussed on Radiant Marriage, that turns chaos into order, offering stability, safety, and consistent loving action.
But watch this. It doesn't have to be just for marriage or just for women. I can do that for myself. I can do that for my brothers and my friends and my mother. I can do that for my son and my daughter. I can do that just because I can. It don't have to have boobs and a uterus attached to it. Unless that's all you think about, nigga.
Let's go.
Learned it because their corpse's columsum is more thinner
I want you to hear what
than inside the woman. So, ladies, I need you to stop lowering your standards. And if you have children and you're single parents, don't overly love your sons. If he falls, allow him to get himself up. Don't run over there and dusting him off every time he falls, because he will grow up believing a woman is supposed to come to his aid every time he fails. So you want to know what the real solution to the problem is? The rules of nature. Let the weak die out. You women are procreating with weakness. That's why when you get pregnant, they abandon you. When you get pregnant, they abuse you. When you get a little money, want to take it from you. They try to weaponize your children against you when you don't want to be with them. Stop procreating with weak men, because in nature, God says you only procreate with strength, because naturally the weakness will die out. This is the solution, ladies.
Does that sound like eugenics? I don't know. Anyways, what he's saying, don't pick up your boy. Is that like a thing for single mothers, like that we're over like nurturing to our sons, no. And that is the reason why they end up expecting women to do more for them, or what? What do you think he's saying here? Like,
I think he's just, you know what I'm saying, finding anything to pander towards feminists and women who have been hurt and have been in, you know what I'm saying, horrible relationships, and just trying to take a position of anti-male. You know what I'm saying? The dude has a vagina.
Wow.
Raise the bar. You set the standards. Men can only do what you allow us to do.
That's deep, because you know, like I work with a lot of Indian women, right? Because I'm an engineer.
Okay.
And it's funny because they're attracted to nerds, pretty much what they would call nerds, smart. So like their husbands be engineers, successful. Mm-hmm. So you're basically saying if the black woman as a whole raised their standard and said, hey, I'm going to require a level of education, I'm going to require this, that is the solution to changing.
If she says, first, the education is good, but if she says, I require you to be able to understand and utilize emotional intelligence.
What does that look like? What does emotional intelligence look like?
When a man can look at his woman and before she says something out of her mouth, by her body language, he did, oh man, I must have did something wrong. Let me backtrack. Oh, baby, I know I said this has hurt your feelings. I apologize. Most men are unable to come back to the women that they say they love and say, baby, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All right, I gotta respond to that.
Understanding that he did something.
That's kind of true. You know what I'm saying? I actually did that yesterday. She didn't say anything. You know what I'm saying? She left me. I don't think she's necessarily leaving me on read, but you know what I'm saying? She kind of left me on read. But you know what? When I learned from conflict resolution is that just because you apologize, it does not give you the right to come here. My son hurt himself. Let me fix his finger. Give me your thumb. Hold on, let me do my daddy duties.
We're seeing a nurturer right here. He nurtured his own son.
I gotta wrap my son's finger. He's hurt. He hurt himself running.
But I will say this is that when we're talking about like what he's saying, he's like, okay, well.
Huh? Say it again.
Yeah, I was saying you're hearing your father being nurturing right here as you're doing.
And utilize emotional intelligence.
I'm gonna say this. I'm in relationships.
I agree with the emotional intelligence part, but see, like what I was gonna say about the who said that? Who went? Super.
Beta, he trained.
And I don't even like to use those terms, but this is crazy. So when it comes to like when I made the apology or whatever, but I also have to, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't expect her to freaking daggone move just because I apologize, she needs to forgive me. No, listen, you apologize, you put it in the air and you let them, you know what I'm saying, heal the way that they have to do it. You don't have to daggone be you know what I'm saying, like people who just think that, oh, I did this, like JJ 7000, oh, I did this, so you should do that. Like, no, conflict resolution does not require me to even accept your apology. That part was partly for yourself, for your own freaking accountability. But you know what I'm saying, if I should, it would be in my time, not in your time. In the same way, I apologize to her. You know what I'm saying? I love her so much. I missed that, and I effed up. And I acknowledge that, you know what I'm saying, where I effed up. You know what I'm saying? I was dealing with two breakups. I was on a double rebound, you know what I'm saying, broken when I met her. And so she got a broken me. And I could have did better for her. I apologize. I got that off of my chest. How she in turn internalizes it or accepts it or receives it, whether she wants to speak to me again or not. You know what I'm saying? I tried to do what I had to do to at least, you know what I'm saying, say, listen, it wasn't you. You know what I'm saying? You know, I know you know it wasn't you, but I'm telling you it wasn't you. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of niggas ain't gonna do that. That's a fact. However, come on, B. This dude over here is super fast. He got panties on. Okay. Yeah, he keeps sweating it right now, bro.
He keeps sweating. But I'm gonna say this. Now I've been dealing, you know, my situation is that I deal with you know, in my relationship is I tend to be overly giving, and I tend to attract like avoided men, like guys that like it's almost like I said. I have a other video I did, almost like the like not Pepe Le Pew type of thing, where you like you're doing it kind of like that, like Pepe, you're being overly thing for the guy, and the guy is like, you know what, they don't, you know what I'm saying, but they want to come, they don't never like leave you though. It's almost a thing where they'll avoid you at the same time as they try to be close to you at the same time. You know, they don't want to like let you go. They'll come in and show relationship and show love and whatever, but then it'll be like a time where they're just
I believe they call that seagulling. The new term I saw recently, seagulling, is when, because seagulls will literally they'll eat and they'll get their fill, but if they see food and they see another bird, they have to snatch it because they don't want the other bird to have it. And so it's the same thing they say with relationships. A woman can do it too. A woman can seagull you as well as a man. But if a man says, oh, well, I'm not really interested in really having, you know what I'm saying, a committed relationship with her, but does not want her to, or anyone else to be that man for her, then he is trying to take more than, you know what I'm saying, he just because he doesn't want anybody else to have her. Same thing has happened with me, with women too.
yeah. So
not that I'm the flyest dude in the world. I'm not bragging or nothing, but you know what I'm saying, there was a couple of women who tried to cock block me on, you know what I'm saying, because they knew that they, you know, okay, we had a moment, but it wasn't that serious. And now you want to try to block me from a girl who, you know what I'm saying, or being with anybody else who might actually meet, you know what I'm saying, the standards or the, you know, my desires.
Man, there's a girl, what's her name? Coco Brown or Coco something. And she has a song, soon as I finally find someone else that I like, here we go. You know, like it's like the dude like almost can sense that you're talking to somebody else, and they'll come and try to disrupt that, and then now you're in this cycle. And so, and that probably happens with women too. It's called the avoidant and the attached. That's what I've looked it up. It's called the avoidant and attachment style. So you have a person that might be used to being neglected or whatever, and they're overly attached. The avoidant was neglected as well in a certain way. Well, like what they'll do is, because whatever, like the attached person, they had to be overly whatever to show up for their parents. The avoidant, like they didn't get anything, and they don't want no one to love them. You know what I'm saying? Like just like love or whatever, too much closeness makes them run. So it's like a thing where
right. So they're afraid. They avoid too much emotional bonding. You know what I'm saying? Because then they feel vulnerable or they leave themselves open to being hurt again. So
right.
Right.
And that's when you get like those text messages of like 15 paragraphs long, like, well, why are you? And I was like, Jesus, like leave me alone. And then the moment stop talking
Yeah, I
altogether.
don't do that shit.
What happened?
If it takes more than freaking daggone a sentence or a fucking guy, I'm not doing no paragraphs, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Like the woman is just the
Hey,
whoever just dumping all their stuff off, and
say what I say. That's it.
the man ain't even reading it anyway. You just up there just talking.
Yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet.
just rambling and then the guy's like, man, I'm not reading that bullshit. And then they just come back like about a week later, and it was like crazy. Like what? So, anyways, let's go.
What does that look like? What does emotional intelligence look like?
When a man can look at his woman and before she says something out of her mouth by her body language, he did. Oh man, I must have did something wrong. Let me backtrack. Oh baby, I know I said this. It's hurt your feelings. I apologize. Most men are unable to come back to the women that they say they love and say, baby, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'll give him applause on that
If a
one.
man is unable to come to an understanding that he did something wrong to hurt the person that he loves feelings and apologize, if he doesn't do that, he doesn't process or understand or utilize emotional intelligence. And then after he gains the emotional intelligence and then, the education and the finances, because a man can be wealthy and lack emotional intelligence and still destroy a woman.
Let me ask you this, because we had this conversation yesterday, right? Ari Lennox mentioned she had relationships with sweet men or good guys, quote unquote, but she always fell for the toxic guys, right? And we were talking, it was amongst us, right? And they were talking about like why a lot of the men end up being toxic is because they were taught that if you're too nice, they're gonna run over you. So they start being toxic towards the women. What do you say to the men that learn that behavior because they feel like that's what they have to do in order to get a woman?
I would tell men this. First, any man that goes against a woman, any man that steps to a woman to destroy her, any man that steps to a woman to misuse her will fall. You will lose everything. We've seen it over and over again. I don't care how much money this man had, how much power this man had. Every time a man goes against a woman, he falls. We've seen this. And women, they're going after nice guys. See, women, you don't need the doormats. You need a warrior. You need a man that's able to be a beast in these streets, but a lamb in the home. Because we have to protect you. We have to provide for you. We have to lead you and guide you. And not just you, but also the children. So you don't need a nice guy because nice guys are the pushovers. You need a disciplined guy, the one that he knows he can go outside and rip somebody's head off his shoulders, but his discipline tells him not to. So ladies, find you a man that understands masculinity, because true masculinity is gentle, it's calm, it's patient, it's understanding. Because the toxic masculinity is the one that will run through you, leave you with a child, abuse you, and then leave you.
Thoughts on that? You there, Zion?
No objections.
All right.
Yeah.
And men, I know a lot of you have never been led by men. So you don't know how a man is supposed to move in the family structure. But let me tell you something, man. Fall in love with yourself. So when you do get a woman and she does come into your life, you're not destroying her. Because when you destroy someone that truly loves you, God's going to handle you. And when God handles you, you're going to lose everything, maybe even your life.
Man, it's they what man say. You said something there. What I want to know from you, right? As somebody who found his helpmate, his woman, his queen, how do you identify? Like, there's a lot of men that I feel like they'll have maybe that person and they don't know really how to identify it. What are some of the steps that you took to identify, okay, this is my person? For
a man to know what's for him or who's for him, he must understand himself. And this is why we must get into a deeper understanding of our nervous system. Because a lot of men say women are emotional, but in truth, we have become extremely emotional to the point God can send us a woman that was designed to elevate our lives. And we'll break them because we don't understand who we are. So before a man goes out and gets a woman, he must first get closer to himself, loving himself, providing for himself, understanding himself. Because if you don't know yourself, how can you know when a woman is good for you or bad for you?
That's real. So let me ask you this. I feel like with this day and age, right? A man who knows himself, who takes care of himself, who has the money, has a plethora of options. He's going to say, why would I settle down? It doesn't make any financial sense. It doesn't make sense on paper. It doesn't, you know what I mean? It's like I have an abundance. Everybody wants me. Why
but that's not a man. A child thinks like that. I have the options to buy a bunch of cars, but I'm not going to go out there and buy a bunch of cars. For what? We have to be real. A lot of you men are whores. A lot of you men are whores. Y'all talk about the women, you downplay the women, you speak down to the woman. Oh, she slept with this man and this man. Some of you men slept with 100 women, 200 women, 300 women. Now you're talking about.
Man, hold on. Let's talk about it because Megan Thee Stallion, right? Everybody was getting on Megan Thee Stallion and this relationship with her and this dude, right? But we're not talking about how many how many women that the man slept with. We want to just talk about her, bankroll of men, Let's talk about this. It's like a lot of men, they'll call a woman a whore, but they're a whore,
Right.
That is toxic. Let's go into it.
That is good. No, I absolutely agree. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it in my life, you know what I'm saying, with a lot of men, family, relatives, and you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't know if did I say it last night? Yeah, I think it was another night at something. I was talking about how, my uncle was the one who had influenced most of the my youngest, he's the youngest on my father's side, and he would be my youngest uncle even in the area of my mother's brothers. And we all call him Master P, you know what I'm saying? Because he was a womanizer, you know what I'm saying, for most of his life, and the way that he viewed women and the way he treated women. He thought that was the way, and that was how you did things. And that was his influence on his nephews. I myself, you know what I'm saying, I was just super romantic anyway. So even though I, you know what I'm saying, like some of the things that he told me about, like, approaching women and, you know what I'm saying, and hollering at, I was always kind of a shy dude anyway, like not on a, you know what I'm saying, like I could talk to a woman once I felt like, you know what I'm saying, it's like we had an open connection, but I'm not the type like my Uncle Paul, he'll approach any woman. You know what I'm saying? Out of the blue, it doesn't even matter. You know what I'm saying? She could be green. She could be freaking daggone an alien from Sirius Beach. It doesn't matter. If he's going to holler. And you know what I'm saying? He's just going to approach off jump, and he just does not have any filter when it comes to that. Now, funny thing is, guys like that are the ones who end up freaking daggone getting all of the pussy. Excuse my language.
All of them, yeah, exactly.
Right, they get all of that because they exert that kind of confidence and this, that, and the other. But you know what I'm saying, in the same interim, you know what I'm saying, the woman is not paying attention to all of the freaking daggone red flags on the field that this dude is going to be freaking daggone a womanizer, and on top of that, he might go upside your head.
And you know what? It's a thing about the way that men do that are practiced like this have a certain level of charisma and ability to trick women.
Right. Oh, he's smooth. You know what I'm saying? He's smooth as hell. We call him Master P. Listen, he talked us into clubs with freaking daggone 7-8 foot Negroes that standing at the door. That's how powerful he. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just women he had freaking daggone the ability to freaking daggone, you know what I'm saying, manipulate. He can manipulate dudes too, not on a sexual level, but just because, you know what I'm saying, like people just gravitated around his energy, and you know what I'm saying, he had that kind of savoir-faire that, you know what I'm saying, yo, what's good, baby? You know what I'm saying? And then, and everybody freaking loves him.
Yep. So it's not even a matter of like if he got anything, because he could probably like just be able to his mouth.
He could talk the draws off of none.
And a lot, you know what? I believe a lot of broke men have that same thing because they've probably been struggling, whatever. They learn how to like do that.
Yeah, where'd mine go? I'm broke. Where's mine?
For the prize? How can you be the prize when you're afraid of a gold digger, but you're not afraid of HIV? I'm gonna repeat this again. How can a man be the prize when he's afraid of a gold digger, but he's not afraid of HIV? Come on, brothers.
Hey, boy, he said something there.
Come on, man. You talking about options? A real man knows he can walk in the room and pull anything walking, but he's happy when he walks in with the queen. That's what kings do. Peasants play in the dirt. Only peasants.
I don't like that.
All praises be
I
to
don't
the
like
Most
that.
High.
I can't.
Forgive me, brother.
I can't
my
pull
passions.
every
No,
woman.
hey,
The
they
only
loving you.
type of woman I could pull is a queen. The only type of woman I cannot pull every woman in the room because every woman ain't on my level.
Right.
And I ain't on their level. I know my lane. I know what I want, and what I want wants me.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So no, that he sound like Master P on some dumb. Like this dude is a womanizer on the low, trying to freaking daggone. He ain't fooling nobody.
All right, so let me fast forward a little bit. Let's go into he paying his wife.
Get any woman in the room. Like, why would you want every woman in the room? You thirsty like that?
Right. So let's go in. He paid his wife $200K or something.
You to write this book here.
It's bragging, yo.
My mother. And the reason why I say my mother is because I watched my mother go from relationship to relationship while her health is destroying. Now, my mother didn't deal with a lot of men, but the men that she did deal with destroyed her immune system. And then my mother got cancer. She got bone cancer. And then I had to reverse that cancer out of her. And this is a proven fact. You know, I know someone mentioned that one time, but I was able to reverse my mother's cancer by understanding the power of the nervous system, understanding that the woman's biology is different from the male's biology, even though they try to say men or women are equal. That's not true. The woman's body is more complex. So when I created this book called The Protected Woman, I thought about my mother. I thought about my beautiful wife. I thought about my daughters, because we have to understand the truth. And I recommend this book for every single woman walking the earth, because it's going to allow you to know you're not crazy. A lot of you women think you're crazy because these men told you you're crazy. No, ladies, you're nervous.
Book that you read.
Go ahead. What you say?
Is it his book or a book that he read? He said.
Oh, it's his book called The Protected.
Oh, okay. This is what it's about. He's selling his book. Got it. Go ahead.
Let's go to the most replay.
He's selling it. He knows who he's marketing to.
Every man is from the womb of his mother. That's where we're from. Where you from? The womb of my mother. I don't care what landmass you were born on. We're all from the womb of our mothers, but we'll rather respect a religion more than we respect the feminine that births our beings into this world. Come on, man. We're sick. We're sick. Look, first of all, I need guys to look at Jesus and then look at Mary Magdalene. They try to label her as a prostitute. They try to call Mary Magdalene a prostitute when in truth, she was the closest one to Christ, because they don't want women to know how great that they are. And then I want to talk to the Christians. I know the Christians will be mad at me right now. A lot of you that are claiming to be followers of Jesus are truly followers of Paul, not Christ. And Paul went against everything Jesus said. He told you not to listen to a woman. Jesus told you, you without sin cast the first stone. So who are we following? And I don't want to get into religion or the topic of religion, because it can be debated, because everybody has different beliefs. But if you can't believe in the woman that you see, how can you believe in a God that you can't? No, praises be to the Most High. No, praises be to the Most High.
What are some takes that, sorry,
Okay.
When it comes to male, how, I try to, okay. For women,
Yes.
what are some ways that women can be there for men, or to see, what are some tips or thoughts that a woman can be there for men? I know I probably didn't say that right, but I'm trying to
Loving, caring.
in general.
Like support a man?
Supporting, because I know you speak on women a lot and how men can be there for women, but how can women also be there for men?
They shouldn't. Not right now. The woman needs to be there for herself. The majority
Okay,
of
this
all
is
women,
where I'm gonna leave.
including yourself, is dealing with some.
I'm done.
Okay. You don't leave.
Oh my God, I'm disgusted. For real? For real? Did he just say that?
He did.
Lord, he knows who he's selling his book to, and women buy books.
All right.
Niggas ain't gonna buy his book. He know who he's selling his book. He know who he marketing to.
Well, who is he
and
marketing?
half of the sisters
Who
will
is
look
he
at him and
marketing?
call him a Timu,
All right,
Timu
so-
version, a Timu Usher.
This is where I believe that he got some of his information from.
Oh, this guy.
So let's go.
You know, and most definitely we paying homage to our goddess. You know what I'm saying? And like we supposed to. You know, and I'm not gonna fall short. I'm going in and I'm digging spiritually inside the souls of our people. I'm gonna be digging spiritually deep inside of the souls of our people to wake them up to this ancient wisdom. Because if we don't wake up, all this success that we talking about, we ain't gonna never achieve. You understand what I'm saying? I gotta talk to y'all today. When we say that the black woman is God, that's exactly what we mean. You understand what I'm saying? I first, came in consciousness of this powerful concept from Dr. Yosef Ben Yakana. I used to always hear Dr. Ben say that heaven was between a black woman's legs. And a lot of people fall out laughing because, niggas is programmed to be old pornographic ass, Eurocentric ass Negro. And so anytime they hear heaven between, your mind go to the internet. Your mind go to these old sick magazines and shit. You can't think spiritually. And so then when he took me back and showed me Newt, he showed me Newt in the ceilings of the temples in ancient Egypt. And I seen the sun coming through the womb of the goddess Newt. Then I understood spiritually what this grandmaster teacher was trying to say.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so the moment that you say that heaven is between a woman's legs, it does make it sexual. Why can't the heaven be in her heart, in her mind towards you, her desire to love you, her choice to love you, not necessarily, it has to be her crotch. These are crotch monsters talking here and then trying to minimize and trying to separate what they said. Why do you have to have a Eurocentric mind? And bro, I can barely ever listen to Sara Suten Seti. He sound like he didn't even get his GED.
He actually has a college degree and he was a teacher.
What? Yeah, where?
He actually worked at elementary school.
Listen, all of this is rhetoric. It's rhetoric. It's rhetorical. The black woman is God. He used goddess in the beginning. Like, can women have their own term? Why does it have to be a male? The God being a masculine, then goddess. If you're saying that women are higher or more power, then a goddess should be higher than a god. But you want to make her a dude. You want to give her masculine identity, and that to me in itself, it shows that that they don't have what they claiming is between their legs.
Before I get into Seti's full thing, I wanted to actually bring in E5. Me being an E5 priestess, I wanted to actually bring in this guy who gave he said it was E5 that said it, but it really was an African proverb. Let's get into what he said, and then we'll get into Seti.
That Orunmila wants to see a man earn a woman's love and trust, and that the woman should even play hard to get, and the man should persist until he's won her over. And once that man has won that woman's love and trust, that she is to give herself to that man. Ifa also says that when a woman is in love, there is nothing that she can't accomplish. She is endowed with ashe that makes magic happen. And when a man is upstanding and loves his wife, takes care of his wife, and serves and fulfills the duties that a husband should, then he's empowered and emboldened by the ashe that she brings to his life. Absolutely. There's a reciprocity, a respect for the roles that Ifa says that should be in place. Ifa also goes on.
That's what I'm talking about. Wants to balance. He's talking a balance, right? And he's not making it about heaven being between her crotch monster. You know what I'm saying? Like this, I like the way he's talking. This is, you know what I'm saying? what the other brother and what freaking Sara Suten Seti, it's a Freudian slip. It's a Freudian slip. Just
No,
like
he was actually saying what Dr. Ben said. So,
okay, so still a Freudian slip. The Dr. Ben could have freaking daggone, you know what I'm saying, had you know, some sexual desires and stuff like that. He need to work out. He's a dude, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I still don't respect that term. You know what I'm saying? It is in her heart, right? Because a woman can just give, you know what I'm saying, like just to scratch an itch. She can get, doesn't mean that she loves you. Right? Doesn't mean that she loves you. You know what I'm saying?
let's hear what
Itch, and she, you know what I'm saying, she's feeling some kind of way, and she, you know what I'm saying, and you're there, and you're just cute enough to daggone to do something with, and then after that, she don't want nothing to do with you. It's not about the crotch, it's about the heart, the mind, and that's what the brother just brought forth. You know what I'm saying? When she decides to love you, there's nothing that she can, and it empowers. Yes, I'm empowered just for the sake of like recently, you know what I'm saying, adding my ex back, who I, you know what I'm saying, I effed up with, just the fact that she, you know what I'm saying, allowed me back into her space with her. You know what I'm saying? I've been singing my ass off lately, and I'm taking that, just the fact that she's there as an energy without trying to suck anything from her, without begging her for nothing, without, you know what I'm saying, trying to reopen the door or have that, but that just the fact is that little bit of okay, you know what I'm saying, I'm not threatened by you, and you know what I'm saying, and I can add you back into my space. Oh yeah, I'm empowered, and it's very powerful. But it didn't have to come with a crotch.
but hold on. I think that when people hear that, let's hear what the rest of this is. He might get deeper in it. Let's go.
You understand what I'm saying? It's a deeper meaning to a whole lot of things that people just don't understand because they've never been taught, you know, in a patriarchal system like we in today. You understand what I'm saying? But in Africa, even today, even in the ancient world, you know, we lived under a matriarchal society. You understand what I'm saying? Where the bloodline came through the woman. Where the bloodline came through the woman. And I'm going to tell you why. And then I'm going to get back to why I believe, and no, I don't believe, I know that the black woman is God. I don't believe, I know it. And I could drop the facts for any nigga out there. Any nigga, any beast. I'm not holding it up for nobody. Because they done spit on the black woman for so damn long that it's time for her rise to happen. Because until the black woman rise, ain't nobody rise. That's a fact.
Comments on there.
You know, I just used to clicking comments. I didn't even realize.
Get blocked. Like why do they come and sniff our nuts? If we're so less, then why are they so focused on? Why are they so obsessed with us? I see racist white people say stuff all the time, and I keep it moving because there's no point in arguing with a bunch of daggone hog people.
Yeah, delete it. Like, why would you say that? Because listen.
Yeah, take your swine ass back to friggin', you know what I'm saying? She don't even know history.
Right.
You know, let's saying rhetoric just like
that's a fact.
Rhetoric.
Right. You know, don't be a retard.
Even the goddamn white man Willie Lynch put in his book, say the only way I could put this shit in effect and it'll last for 10,000 years. The only way that is gonna change if you change the psyche of the woman. Go read the Willie Lynch. See, even the white boy know more than you Negroes. See, you busy around here worshiping white Jesus, yes, Yahweh, yes, Allah, yes, Buddha, yes, Confucius, any goddamn religion you go in. God damn it, the main figure of that religion is a man. No woman in nowhere in the religion. Okay? And she's the source of all things. She is the source of all things. When we talking about God, and this is why I had to say the black, not that in the masculine sense, God is the creator. If you go in any dictionary, they'll say that God is the creator. And so, yeah, you know, some Negroes thinking they being slick by saying that, oh, she's the goddess. But see, when you dealing in any religion, The God is the creator, and if it's a goddess somewhere, she's just a consort. You know what I'm saying? The God is the one that's creating the universe. God created man and woman. Okay, I ain't never seen a man create a woman. I ain't never seen a man create a woman. Okay? Now, if you a man and you on this planet, you understand? If you ain't got no belly button, you's a Frankenstein. And if you got a belly button, that lets you know that a woman preceded you. That's a mathematical fact, even though it's an enigma, because we know that it takes, today, as we, logically could see, it takes a man and a woman to create a child. But the enigma is that a woman preceded every man that's on the planet. Every man. Every man got a navel, which means a woman preceded him. That's a fact. Okay? It's an enigma, but it's a fact. And so when we talking about the creator, the only thing that I see creating Africans today is the African woman. She's the one, that births the nation. She's the one that gives birth. She's the one that's holding the child in her stomach for 9 months. What a woman eats, her child eats. Okay? And if she put poison in her body, it goes into her child because they won. See? They won until the child come out and they cut that in biblical cord. They won.
I can't say.
So let me just show you this real quick because I want to also just give clarity, right? This is ChatGPT, but let's go. I asked, okay, what does sperm do in procreation? Can you guys hear me?
I totally did the same thing. Go ahead. I got mine up too over here, my co-pilot.
Okay, so it says in human procreation. Let me see if I can close this, okay? In human reproduction, sperm has one primary job: to deliver the father's genetic material to the egg, so a new human can begin forming. Here is how it works clearly in biological. It carries DNA, half the blueprint. Each sperm cell contains 23 chromosomes, half the total needed. The egg from the woman also has 23 chromosomes. When they combine, they form a full set, 46 chromosomes, which determines things like traits, sex, and genetic makeup. All right. So during intercourse, millions of sperm are released. They travel through the cervix, fallopian tubes. Only a small number actually reach the egg. If an egg is present, ovulation, one sperm may successfully penetrate the outer layer of the egg. Once the sperm enters, the egg blocks all others. Okay. It then combines genetic material. The sperm's DNA merges with the egg's DNA. It creates a zygote, the first cell of a new human life. The sperm carries either X chromosome or Y.
Yes. Okay. So stop right there for a second. He just got finished saying that the woman, basically creates. It's both, because and it depends on the kind of sperm, whether the sperm has an X or the sperm has a Y, that determines whether the egg that receives it. Now the egg we found in science that the egg can be selective. The egg don't have to let none of your sperm in there if it don't want to. So there is. The egg is very powerful in choosing which sperm that it chooses. But sometimes we still get birth defects and such, what have you, right? But it is the male sperm that is either an X or a Y predominantly that decides the gender. So for him to leave that out, this is why I'm saying he's rhetorical. And I'm sorry, just the way he talks, it just does not come off very intellectual at all. He sounds like it's like prison freaking, scholarship type banter, and that's why I can't really listen to him for long.
Well, that's my friend. So
I respect you for that. I personally just cannot.
But we're gonna get into the science.
Yeah, man. He's pandering too. You know what I'm saying? If he's your friend personally, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you probably know more about his personal relationships than anybody, and that's between you and him. But you know what I'm saying? I can make a freaking daggone a guess about, you know what I'm saying, his some of his relationships. You know what I'm saying? I might be speculating or what have you, but I don't think I'd be far off just by his character. He reminds me of Master P, just a little just a little less articulate.
All right, so let's get into it. Simple way to think about it. Egg equals environment, nutrients, half the DNA. Sperm equals delivery, the other half of DNA, trigger for development. Once fertilization happens, the body takes over, cells divide, the embryo forms, and pregnancy begins. All right, so after fertilization, week by week, we don't have to go into that, but the bottom line is that the sperm is the spark that triggers what happens during like the whole uh aspect of birth, right? So, but the thing is that when he's saying that no one is born without an umbilical cord, so what? So, at one point, was it that we were because it seemed like when the male comes into play, then there's like an X or Y. But was there a time when there were only Y? I mean X, and there's like that whole what's it called eugenic, what's this shit called when you parthenogenesis, that at one point it was something different, I don't know, but we will, but I will say that uh let's hear what else he has to say, because I think that, and shouts out to Seti, thank you for this information.
Wait. You said parthenogenesis. Can you explain before you go forward?
Genesis is like where people are saying that women at one point were able to procreate, because
that was never with mammals. That was never. That's never happened with mammals. Ever.
It's never happened with mammals.
No, you go to amphibians and certain other worms and other, you know what I'm saying, forms of life. Yes, they've had that capacity. And do we have or share some form of, you know what I'm saying, genetic root with all things on this planet? Certainly, but never ever with mammals. Mammalian means that she has boobs and requires a male's DNA in order to produce. Mammals, and we're mammals, so no physical mammal female has ever produced a child, unless you believe in the freaking daggone immaculate conception, which I, as a Rastafari Israelite, do not. I believe that Joseph was the father.
Now I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your mind. You ready?
Go ahead.
All right, I'm going to show you this, and it's going to blow your mind. So, based on Swedish legislation as of mid 2025, all right, Sweden has updated laws regarding gender recognition and assisted reproduction, allows how transgender individuals can become parents. New Legal Gender Recognition Act of 2025, Swedish Parliament approved the law taking effect in July 2025 that makes it easier for people to change their legal gender. Now, here's the thing: they're blocking this. What they're trying to do is create a way that trans men can be able to give birth to actual like using, I don't know what they're gonna do. Somehow they figured out a way.
Come out looking like Quasimodo. They're gonna come out. I swear to God, if they do this, it's gonna be horrible. They're gonna come out looking like, what was that thing? The movie with the dude that had the lions freaking daggone genetic mutation freaking daggone. Oh man,
they found some kind of weird way to be able to like use two sperms and somehow take and make a biological baby based on
no.
It's gonna be like Quasimodo.
No, you're gonna come out freaking weird. The hunchback, a Notre Dame looking ass. He gonna have a titty on his back and a testicle. Have a titty on his back and a testicle on his chin.
Listen, listen. This is why I'm bringing this up, because I think that when we think about parthenogenesis, I think that we always think that we were in the Stone Ages doing type of stuff, but I think that we have had advanced civilization. We have advanced, and then we have fallen, advanced, fallen. So it's not hard to think that we probably had I know it sounds like off the wall, that maybe there was a female civilization that actually had like some futuristic shit going on with it.
Pseudo. I'm gonna say it like Off West.
Listen, I might be.
I'm gonna say it like Off West. You pseudo, because evolution.
I don't know.
You gotta prove that to me. I'm sorry. It's just, you know why? Because I did the research when it comes to mammals, and I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Not even daggone mammals who have evolved to live in aquatic. They still record sperm whales, freaking daggone whales in general, right? They evolved in some of the and no, they're not producing their own babies. They're not fish. They're not fish. They're just not. Now, men can try to manipulate science, nature all at once, but when you start doing that, to me, that's when you're corrupting it. You're corrupting the temple again. Remember, you're defiling the temple. There's a balance for a reason. Okay, amphibians can freaking F themselves and make a baby. Do I want to F myself? No. You know what I'm saying?
I wish I could find that video where the guy was talking about how like they are. I'm gonna find it.
No, don't do it. We'll be here all night.
Literally have a way.
My son is trying to get back on the computer too. So you got only a couple of minutes.
Take a baby out of it, and that baby will have the DNA of the father and the DNA of another father. And so, if parthenogenesis never exist, how in the hell are they able to do this?
Well, it's mutating. Look, they're able to produce seedless grapes, but it still loses freaking some of the nutritional value. Just because you can do it doesn't mean that it's good.
Yeah, but
that it was supposed to be done that way. You understand what I'm saying? So the reason why you could do that is you're using RNA and like I just said, human beings do share some common base RNAs and genetic relationships to other animals, not just, primates and mammals in general, but we do have, that's why we see inside, there was an old saying called, ontology recapitulates phylogeny, even though they pretty much kind of like. Hold on.
My daughter.
Okay, so it recapitulates phylogeny. Ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny. They cast that out as pseudoscience, later on. However, certain parts of what he was saying was true. And so therefore, when you see a single cell egg, split into two and into four, and then form into a zygote, and then form into, all of the various, you see it looks like a tadpole, and we see these things happening in other animals as well. That shows that we had some ontological root in all of these animals' development as human beings developed on Earth or evolved on Earth. So you could manipulate, because those things do exist inside of us, no less. But we are mammals, and you're gonna freaking play around, and you're gonna get a nigga with freaking gills and a vagina on his forehead.
All right, let's go.
2 men could now make a baby without a woman's DNA. American scientists have created working human embryos by putting DNA from skin into a donor egg. This new egg has just 23 chromosomes from the skin cell, and that can be fertilized via IVF with the 23 chromosomes from a sperm, making a full set. The implications for the study are vast. It opens the door for anyone to have children, irrespective of the need to have your own eggs. Therefore, this new scientific method could also provide an unlimited supply of eggs for women who struggle to conceive. Scientists have been able to change DNA in cells since the 1990s, but their methods did not work for reproductive cells. A study from Oregon University has now managed this for the first time by tricking a skin cell into behaving like an egg cell. The process was replicated to make 82 embryos, but only 9% developed to the stage needed for IVF implantation. None were implanted into a human and were all destroyed in line with ethical guidelines.
Thoughts? Did you hear what it said? What do you think about that?
I'm trying to find the daggone, where did I put it? Hold on. Where am I at? Where is it? the fuck just happened? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I can't find. Oh, I can't find the daggone stream. Oh, here's my stream. My tab was going. I was like, "Am I on mute?" Anyway, no, just because you could do it, don't mean that you should.
But they're going
and
to.
having this
This
conversation,
is
but
about what
they're
should
going to
happen.
try to do a whole lot of shit. I don't care
Yeah.
what white people do. White people are going to do all, and nothing has come good from anything that they, saying, besides, I mean, almost everything has caused some form of destruction and some form of negative, maladverse effect. I wouldn't dare. And I think that this is also a part of that abomination of desolations that I was talking about when they start freaking daggone warping gender and sexuality. It becomes sexual perversion, perverse, and that's all prophesied to me. I don't think that it's good at all. I just don't. I think that natural processes would, if we were meant to, then we would evolve into such. We wouldn't have to daggone genetically try to manipulate something just because people freaking daggone like the brown and not the pink. I'm sorry, like, come on.
And hold on, listen. And here's the thing. Okay, so, let me not get into pseudo about the females, Project of Genesis, but let me just say, doesn't it sound like this is the opposite of, they're trying to procreate something opposite of what was already?
Have you ever wondered how two men like us have a baby via surrogacy? This can sometimes be an overwhelming subject, so let me break it down for you. The first thing we did was to find an egg donor. We then fertilized her eggs with half of France's sperm and half of my sperm, and then created embryos. We ended up having to do this section twice to get enough embryos to create our family. Once the embryos are created, they grade the embryos and put the highest grade embryos into our surrogate. In real terminology, our surrogate is actually called a gestational carrier because we didn't use her egg.
First of all, can we stop using the term gestational carrier, you moral monster? It's a woman, a human being, a mother who's going to give birth to a child who is also a human being. A child that, by the way, has a right to be raised by his mother, to have his mother in his life, instead of being perpetually deprived because somebody wants to purchase him. But that's really what's happening here. It's about purchasing. He has the right not only to his mother, but to be born, to be created from that loving union of his mother and his father. And that's not what's happening. Instead, he's being perpetually and intentionally deprived and violated from the moment of his conception. That's what's happening. Nobody wants to say it, but that's the truth. And it's evil. It's absolutely evil what we're doing to these children. And surrogacy should be banned.
What are your thoughts?
I absolutely agree with that lady. Yeah. My son needs to get to the computer, so I'm gonna step out. But yeah, no. I think this is it's a corruption and a I don't know what the term is for it. It's not good. It's not good, and it's not going to fare good either. You know what I'm saying? They find things later on, like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years later, it becomes a problem. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, they thought it was good to freaking use certain types of cans back in days to can food. You know what I'm saying? And people ate from those cans, and then all of a sudden, freaking 60, 70 years later, they found out it was causing Alzheimer's. Let's just not play with nature. Let's not do that. You know what I'm saying? And they minimize the woman to a freaking daggone carrier. Like, come on, bro. Like you just you just turned her into cattle or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, I think it's despicable. I think it's disgusting, and I think that it's perverse. You know what I'm saying? And it's the LGBTQ agenda, honestly. They're not considering, you know what I'm saying, the adverse side effects that could happen with the children and what could happen to them later. They could possibly have a greater propensity for cancer or other, you know what I'm saying, physical genetic defects and stuff. You just don't know, and you just don't want to do that and bring a child into the world, you know what I'm saying, without freaking daggone really considering how this could affect them later on. I think about, like, you know what I'm saying, like, even in this day time, like, you know what I'm saying, like, boom, I love my son, I love my daughter, but, you know what I'm saying, you got to be conscientious about the world that you're bringing them into. Did I really want to bring my son into this world, you know what I'm saying, the way it is, as it is now? Like, am I being selfish for wanting to have another child in this kind of freaking environment, you have to think about shit like that. These motherfuckers don't care about nothing. Like, I want to stick my ding ding in the doo doo and freaking daggone have a baby. No, man, stop, please.
Right. So I when I hear this, I don't think that Sara Suten Seti is just is that bad. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, no, I'll always take the fence for somebody who freaking daggone who elevates the black woman. All I'm saying is there is a level when it becomes pandering and it becomes and it shows a level of obsessive you know what I'm saying, like sexual, you know what I'm saying, like and so you have it's like a Freudian slip and just you know, like, let's not do that either. But I would take his side over this crap all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? If you want to make the black woman God to avoid from all of this stuff, you know what? More power to your brother. You know what I'm saying? The black woman is God.
I'd rather have that than have what they're talking about right now.
I would side with Seti over here before I side with that dumb crap. Word to me.
Word to me. I want to show you the contrast.
Fire, son. Look, he just drew me some fire. Woo, this is fire. Very dope. You got to put this in a folder, my dude. All your artworks, man. Like, you got to keep those. Got the other one over there. I got to find you a folder. All right, let me let him get the computer. I'm gonna step out. All right, sis. Thank you.
Thank you for coming, and we're gonna get back into this information set. Let's go.
Okay, I'll be watching from my phone. All right.
Okay.
All right.
See, that's why the bloodline goes through the woman, because it's the truth. You know, you can never be something different than your mama. That's it. Okay, you can never be nothing. You can never be something different than your mama, because you connected to your mama. Okay, by that umbilical cord, y'all one. The food is coming down into your sack through that umbilical cord. You understand? That's why it's so rich in nutrients, and that placenta is so rich with nutrients. You understand that? You know, even the stem cells that's in that placenta and in that umbilical cord, rich with stem cells. And we don't understand. That's why these wicked people are always pushing our women to, have these abortions. You understand what I'm saying? Because they retrieving stem cells up out of these placentas and these umbilical cords because they know how powerful the woman is. That's where them stem cells come from. So that show you how powerful the woman is, because these stem cells can become any cell in the body. These stem cells can become any cells in the body. That's showing you how powerful she is. And like I said, a child, I tell you what, go on Marvin Povich, one of the most sick-ass shows where they always doing a DNA test. You understand what I'm saying? And then, I seen one episode where, they had 5-6 niggas up there on the stage. And, they did DNA tests on all of them. And then it came back that none of them was the father. See, none of them was the father. And so right there, that let you know mama's babies, papa's mate. You can't build no dynasty on no damn man, because you don't know for sure. You understand what I'm saying? But we know for sure that's mama's baby. That's mama's baby. You understand what I'm saying? And so Africans set up from ancient times that the black woman was the source of the true bloodline. That's why when you go in ancient Egypt, when you talk about Aset, her name means what? The throne. The lap of your mama is the throne. She is the one that ordains you, nigga, to sit on the throne, which is her throne. That's her throne. Okay? That's her throne. And so that's why it's necessary to explain this to the brothers. See, these niggas thinking they a king without fulfilling their divine responsibility to their mama and to their woman. You ain't no motherfucking king unless you ordain the king. And in order to be ordained the king, you got to fulfill the divine responsibility that this woman put on you. Okay? You can't even further your bloodline unless she ordained that on you. Okay? So the man, that don't mean he's less of a man, but we putting this shit in perspective on how we get back to the top. You know, she wasn't never down in the man's masculinity, but this is what keep things in check. You see what I'm saying? This is what keep things in check. If you don't put that woman up on no pedestal, I swear to God, if these niggas don't stay off of my phone and let me be, you understand what I'm saying? I know they looking for me. That's what it is. Everybody looking for me. You understand what I'm saying? So these niggas is gods. These niggas is kings. But yet and still, they in default. They in default with fulfilling their divine responsibility to their woman. I look at all these religions. They fraudulent. They fraudulent in respect to the African woman. You understand what I'm saying? They calling the African woman all kind of crazy shit. They calling the African woman, I done seen it. You understand the positions that they put the woman in. No nation can rise higher than his woman. And when I said that, I had to look back at Newt, you know, because our ancestors put the African woman in the sky. She's the cosmos. You understand? That's where they get Miss Universe. She's Miss Universe. You understand what I'm saying? And no nation can rise higher than his woman. And why is that? Why is that? Because first and foremost, as we revert back and let every man is subordinate to his mama. She's the first doctor. Nigga, when you're sick, his mama come in there. His mama come in there. Give you all the herbs and whatnot. She's the first doctor because she had to know it in order to keep her children alive. This was long before any goddamn hospitals and all these sick ass doctors out here giving you all this goddamn poison. She's the first doctor. She's the first teacher. She knew mathematics before you knew it, nigga. But see, now these niggas is gods and now these niggas is kings. And they looking above as if they above their own mama. I got this one, I'm not going to show it today. I'm not going to show it today. You understand? Where the King Pepe, he's a full, you know, as you see, hey, Rue as a child sitting on Isis lap, Iset's lap. This man, this king is a full-grown man, and he's sitting on his mama's lap. He's sitting on, but he's smaller than his mama. Even though he is a full-grown man, he's subordinate to his mama. And that's showing you something. This is from the ancient. This is from the greatest civilization that ever was existed on this planet. Okay? That taught the world how this shit should go. And it lasted 10,000 years without a hiccup until these foreigners start coming in and destroying the essence of what, you know, we laid down. You know, that was appropriate for us to build the great civilizations that we built. And then we got people today that's coming in and they hoarding ancient Egypt. Everybody wants to eat off of ancient Egypt and teach some garbage that ain't got nothing. We see what's on the wall. And when you talking about the spirituality of ancient Egypt, okay? Damn near 95% of the spirituality of ancient Egypt is built around the woman. Not only is she the throne, wait a minute, let me get back to the concept of God. Because God is the creator. And then see, when we say the black woman is God, you know, these niggas get to foaming at the mouth. But they never had no balance. They never thought about the woman. They always gave her a subordinate role in these religions. Even when you go to Christianity, you know, even in Catholicism, though, you know, Mary is all powerful in Christianity, they always show her beneath God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. She's beneath them. I can go in all of them. And I don't give a goddamn which one of them it is. They got her in the subordinate role. You know, in some religions, whatever you want to call it, You understand? Or cults, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You understand? Some of them call the woman the earth. She's the earth. The man is the God, and she's the earth. Well, then, in all science that I know of, like produce like. Horses produce horses. Trees produce trees. Gods produce gods. How the hell the earth gonna produce a god? Huh? And she not be God. And the damn God is greater than the goddamn earth. How? I don't understand that. You cannot be something different than your mama. Okay, so if the man is a god, how the woman gonna be something different? See, like produce like. Dogs produce dogs. Cats produce cats. Okay, you ain't gonna get something to produce something unlike itself. So if the man is God, then the woman is God. Okay, she's the creative force, and so that's why I had to stress the fact that the black woman is God, because she's the creative force. She's the one having these babies. And let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna get busy with y'all today. You niggas that ain't even have a thought. You couldn't even have a thought, nigga, until you was born. So your birth is the greatest event of your life. You understand? When your mama give birth to you, then you understand? Now you a part of existence. You couldn't even exist. You couldn't even have a thought if your mama did not give birth to you. Okay? You're blessed to be here under these situations that we living in, because you could have easily been flushed down the fucking toilet somewhere. You understand? Most of the time, that's on mama. The nigga done ran some goddamn where. He didn't opt out. He using her only as a physical instrument. You understand? He don't look at her as a spiritual deity. He look at her as an instrument to do his freaky shit. And then if the baby come, the nigga opt out, send her on down there to the beast to flush the baby down. That show you that, you know, that's what happened when you put the man first. And he don't have no spiritual understanding that his woman is a divine entity. Okay? That's what happened. All these niggas running around talking about their gods and kings and be the first nigga send that woman down there to give up her child. Because he ain't got no responsibility to that woman at all. And so we gonna have to talk to our sisters. These sisters got to become social engineers. This is your world. You might see, we getting back to the woman being 95% of the spirituality of a. She's even the law. She's the law. She's she's mathematics. She's the balance. See, you got to bring that heart of yours and put it on the balance of Big Mama, and that it got to wait. She's the universe. You understand? Is moving with the principles of Maya. Now,
but let me just also bring this to the table. Now there are different archetypes of women, right? Let's talk about the Ma'atian women, and then let's talk about the other archetypes. You have some archetypes of women that will work against themselves, against their own creation. And that is where, I did a show and we talked about the woman's role in E5. Now E5, hold on, let me just do this. Let me stop this because let me do this. I'm sorry. So in E5, there's a whole story about how like the women at some point, about seeing Odu. So let's go into, because like the priests of ancient Kemet, if you go into a book called Mami Wata, there's so many books that you can find out about the feminine principle and the feminine aspect of creation. But the thing is that femininity has been subdued in the current system that we live in. And but there's also archetypes of women. Let's go into the archetypes. Let's hear this. Let's go.
Initiated to E5, not initiated to E5, but he's definitely married to me, Right. And so, I would have missed out on my blessing had I listened to some of her words of wisdom. She also said the only thing that Iyanifas can't do, or women in Isheshe can't do, are see Odu. Well, that's not true. Some women have seen Odu. Some women actually have Odu, and there's different types of initiations, for that. Also,
so in Ifa, they have a thing called Odu, and that is the divining aspect. And Odu is really based on the woman's womb. So what happens is that Baba Lawos now will say a woman can't see Odu because she cannot see her own womb. Because Odu is the symbolic thing of a womb, right? So let's go.
women can't wear masquerade unless you are initiated to like Gala Day. So, or Gala, I don't know how you pronounce that, but it's just the more you know, sis. But I appreciated her passion. I appreciated the information that she shared, because somebody coming in, that's good to start with that. But as they learn and as they actually work with Spirit and Orisha, and they grow and they evolve, some of those things that she said might not necessarily work for them. I'm trying to think of something else that she talked about. Oh yeah, so I really just want to stick to the point that I'm somebody that respects Yoruba culture as the culture that has been keeping Ifa alive for all this time. But I really like the technology of Ifa, and we have to. That's where my intent is. It's on the spiritual technology, the ancestral technology.
Yeah,
and not so much into like the man-made things, because if you think about it, somebody created the initiation, somebody created the shrine, the beads, all those traditions, the culture.
Right, and I think it was men and women. I don't think it was just one sided.
It definitely wasn't just one side, even though we as a people have always been matrilineal and matrifocal, and those things have changed. That's why, if you don't mind, I wanted to read some things from this book.
Mm-hmm.
Would you mind?
Hold on, I really want you guys to pay attention to what they say in this book. This is going to go into the archetypes of women, right? There's different types of women, and I want you guys to check this story out. It's very interesting.
Like for me, because my eyes. The first known, documenting women's mysteries in the tradition, which is Isheshe. The first known documentation came in 1915 from a woman anthropologist in her book called Women's Mysteries of a Primitive People, which I just happen to sell in Drop Squad Kitchen. By Amori Talbot. There she documents a trying tale of how men stole the mysteries of the women's secrets in societies in southeast Nigeria. The tale was recounted by 3 elder women who explained that in the old days, women used to outnumber men. As men grew, they became dissatisfied with their lot and began to conspire for more by asking for the women to share the secrets of the mysteries so that they would become strong as a society. Upon meeting, the women debated the suggestion with the elder women, stating emphatically to not do so. They did not trust the men in their plight. The younger women, however, fought on behalf of their husbands and suggested that the elder women cared only for things of yesterday and that it was a new day. Eventually, the old women overcame the elders and did share the mysteries with the full rights and every secret by means of which they had formerly held dominion. Shortly thereafter, new laws were created to forbid women to participate in their own ceremonies, including the ancestral plays. Instead, they would be taken over by men and become a men's society where women were forbidden. Further, if any woman would try to participate, witness, or practice, they would escort her to the market and behead her for all of the town to see, so that all other women would be dissuaded from participation. Now, since the men were stronger in limb and cruel, the women were forced to comply. Only 2 elder women remained who still practiced keeping their pots hidden in palm fronds in the ceiling, and one eventually was slashed by a machete. This forced the movement into the women's mysteries to go underground. The tale seemed to be one of the few remnants of women's stories and what happened to their mysteries, except a month after discovering this text, I met a woman who was Kikuyu from Kenya. Her name was Wangari, and she became a great source of knowledge about the Kikuyu women's traditions. Trained in the ways of the ancients by her mother and unfamiliar with the previous story above, she also recounted a similar tale of the history of the women's tradition in Kikuyu. Her story differed only slightly in that conspiracy involved the husbands pressing the young wives for the secrets and one acquired, and conspired to get all the menstruating women pregnant at the same time. Now, you know, women who live together and in nature have synchronized cycles of ovulation, menstruation, and birth, since these were some of the mysteries. The men then knew how to achieve the task. Now, since the women were great fighters, they had to attack when they were weakest in order to win. And at the height of pregnancy, the women were incapacitated, and the other women that remained were elder women who were so weak. It was then that the men took over and overthrew the female chief. These stories suggest that there was a mass movement across the continent where women's mysteries were taken and then used against them. I just wanted to stop there. Sybils and Mami Wata by Mama Zogbe also goes a lot more into detail to me about some of these things, and she does a really good job of documenting via anthropological findings and things like that what Sister Ayala Kamari is putting down in this book. So these stories are even retold from a masculine perspective to demonstrate the change. While on the surface there are masks performing these mystery rites, even today there are obviously feminine in nature. And upon my study, I found similar surfacing in the Odus, oracle poetry, in Itans, the stories, and one such story recounts in the Odu Osa Meiji how the masquerades in a Gungu mask used to belong to women. Obatala, which is sometimes male and sometimes female, but in recent years male, have married Odu, and then discovers the secrets to the Egungun and begins to wear the Egungun cloth and mask, fooling everyone. So she goes on to talk about that. And then, even though that story is often recounted, you can even see that story on Facebook. There are other stories where she talks about where Obarisha is frustrated with Odu because she has so much power and she could take away anything from him. Odumare had given women more power than men, and anything she says actually comes into reality, so her power is great. She tells him that they should live together in the same place, and once they do, he gives her snails to calm her down. Once calm, he suggests that he doesn't keep any secrets from her, and while she keeps secrets about her power from him, and that they should share power together. She then tells them the secret to the Agun cloth, which is related to her power, and is subsequently able to then take it. Then she talks about Father P. Bowden in the Fetish and Fetishism from 1885, recounts a story where Obatala and Odu were married and had a domestic fight in which Obatala, Risha, blinded her to keep her quiet. So I'm not going to read the whole thing. Another acquisition of power comes in the Odu Irete Ogbe, where Arumala marries Odu and eventually obtains her secret. Then there's other Itans and stories that recount how Arumala takes Oshun's bag of wisdom, because Olodumare had put the bag of wisdom, in on earth and was like, y'all need to find it. Oshun finds it first, and then she didn't know that she had a hole in her bag, and so it was falling out. And so Arumila then takes it and doesn't allow her to have it and only gives her a part of it, which is considered Arundel or Marundel. So that's that story. So I advise people who are really interested in learning things from a historical perspective to get this book. She does a really good job in the first part of the book, just recounting many of the stories. Like I said, I don't want to read all of them, but basically says the history of the role of women becomes more complex when we take into the account the influence of colonial life and trading had on women in the tradition in Africa. Initially, women yielded great power because they owned and farmed the land. That's also true in, can you give me The Great Cosmic Mother by Monica Shu? I read that in like 1993 while I was pregnant with my oldest daughter. It's right there. I got one right there. Yeah. Great Cosmic
Wow.
Mother.
They owned and farmed the land.
Right.
And I know in some culture they build the houses too.
Exactly. So in this book is a really good book. You can tell, like, I just really went really deep into this book, and it just talks about where the natural nurturers and the people who are naturally cooking and feeding the children. So we naturally going to do the herbs. We're naturally growing the herbs. We're naturally growing the crops, right? So
yeah, I know my grandma used to have like a garden in the back, you know.
Every woman in my family that I know has always had gardens.
Yeah.
So colonial rule take the land and ostracize the women, and this created more of a dependency on men in a colonial system that did not recognize women. In addition, women traditionally ruled the marketplace, and even in Isheshe, it talks about women are the rulers and the owners in the marketplace. So that yielded a lot of political and financial power through their markets. So, all of that was changed. And then you think about Ogboni, who's running Ogboni, is Siami, right? So they kind of made it illegal for those organizations to be existing in the traditional Yoruba cultures once it was colonized. So it's just so much information that's out there. These are some of the books that when people ask me about Ifa that I do suggest. But for any woman that is interested in becoming an Ifa, it's great that she has other women who have written in here and things like that. And she has an amazing lineage as far as the people who have taught her. And it shows up in here. So I would suggest people study that book. I've read that one. I've read Isheshe, Hand of Ifa, The Great Cosmic Mother. Now, I haven't read all of this. It's just kind of like you look for what you're looking for and maybe you'll find it. It's,
Wow. I mean, all right. So what it really boils down to, and please go ahead and watch that video. She's gonna break down as far as even in Ifa, like the divine feminine. And let me show you guys what that video is, like how it looks. It's called Ifa and the Divine Feminine with the Budget's Child. Please go and watch that video, because what Steady is talking about is like when he's talking about like different African systems and how in Africa the woman was the main thing, and then it got overtaken by colonialism. And he's bringing up Egypt and this, that, the other. This is what he's talking about. Like not just only in Egypt, but West Africa, East Africa, all over the place. So let's go.
This is what the ancients say. I don't give a goddamn what these ignorant ass niggas is saying today. These niggas ain't doing nothing else but crawling on their motherfucking knees for this beast. This beast is running rapid through the community. These niggas is gods and kings and all this other bullshit. These niggas is hoes. They won't even fight like men no more. Back when I was coming up, a man looked you in your goddamn eye. These niggas go on the internet with Twitter fingers and shit, trying to flag videos and shit. Won't see a man eye to eye. Nigga, you'll never beat me. The sisters love me. Not in no sense. They love me because they know I protect the throne. They know I'm the first one that's going to go up there and protect the throne, protect the temple, protect the laws of Big Mama, run this down like a priest from ancient Egypt supposed to. You niggas is delinquent. You niggas is delinquent. And when a nigga do try to give you the way to redeem yourself, nigga, you can't do it. You ain't got enough heart to do it. So, today we have to express to our babies and to our sister, she's the social engineer of this community. And if she want a better community, she gonna have to put down the blueprint, the law to these babies. Because I'm just gonna tell you, these niggas do not have the capacity. And the ancients already knew this. Willie Lynch already know this. It got to be in the mind of the woman. But she got to have some defense. These niggas got to step up while she putting the law down with the babies and defend her. I'm seeing women jumping, elders being jumped on all in the streets. And these niggas talking about they kings. They got armies and shit. And they try to boss up on their own people. And I ain't never seen these niggas not one time go out there and bang on this beast. Not one goddamn time. I don't hold my tongue. At least the truth is reverberating. It's reverberating through the universe. That's why they trying to stop me every goddamn chance. And I don't know no other way but to drop the truth raw, because it's detrimental at this time. We losing too many of our people, too many of our family, too many of our children, too many of our brothers and sisters. We losing too many. So we have to put the goddamn truth. That we ain't no time for no cut. If you niggas is egotistic because a nigga is cussing or whatever, goddamn it, this is what they do in revolutions. Niggas always talking about they in a goddamn revolution, and then when a nigga cuss, goddamn it, you get your panties all in a goddamn crutch, goddamn it, and that's what they do in revolutions. See, when you're never comfortable in a revolution. Revolutions is always uncomfortable. When my shit come up missing, when my YouTube, I know that's what's supposed. I don't cry no tears. I've been going through this shit all along. What the fuck? I'm on the white man shit, and I'm banging on his ass. And so when they snatch my shit down, that let me know I'm hitting their ass where the fuck it hurt. And they taking my shit down because they know the truth that I'm spitting up is waking up brothers and sisters all over the goddamn planet. You niggas is local, nigga. You understand what I'm saying? I thank the ancestors, nigga. My name is being spoken on the other side of the goddamn planet. I got people all in my damn inbox and email from all over the world that thank me for spitting this truth. You niggas can't stop that. That's not a lie. Nigga, that's real talk. Because the family feel it all over the goddamn planet, nigga. How the hell you think you gonna stop me? That's ridiculous. As long as my family respect and love me, I'ma always be here. You know what I'm saying? And so, again, we looking at Maya being mathematics. Okay, she was the first educator of math. You understand? The first person that ever laid down a blueprint for the housing. When you go to Africa, it's the sisters that build the houses. Okay? They the ones out there building the houses. You understand? They was the first engineers. So when you talking about that pyramid, she laid down the first mechanical civil engineer on the planet. So, and that led up to the development of the pyramid. She started the development for that. Okay? When we talking about mathematics. Now you hear all these Freemasons and all these niggas talking about, but they speculative Masons. It was the sisters that built the houses. It was the sisters that developed agriculture. The man was the hunter. It was the sisters. I go back to Ashaka Musa Barashago. Y'all need to go listen to that, brother. I was listening to one of his lectures today. One of the most powerful teachers that we ever had. Okay, Ashaka Musa Barashago. Go look him up. I'm gonna put some of his lectures on my page today. You know, he speaks extensively about the black woman. Okay, when we talking about agriculture, the man was the hunter-gatherer. It was the sister that put the agriculture down. See, and now the significance of the agriculture is that, you know, if you hunting all the time, you're not developing the arts and sciences like you need to be. But see, when you got agriculture and you develop and your food is growing up out the ground, see, all you have to do is sit and study and think now. But if you out there hunting and gathering, you can't do that. So when that sister invented agriculture, that's what she did. She invented agriculture. That gave us the ability now, because our food is right there. All we had to do is put the seeds down, harvest it, and while we waiting on the crops to come up, we studying. We in the stars. We developing math. We developing science. We inventing alphabet. We inventing architecture and music and all other, you know, we was able to do that. Until she developed agriculture, we was just hunter and gatherers. Okay? She was the one that did that. She the one that built the houses. That's fact. You can go to Africa right now. It's the sisters out there building the houses. Have been building them since time immemorial. Okay? Now, we need to look at what they call the fertility dial. They call them Venuses, that they was finding all over, not only Europe, they find them in Africa, they find them in Asia, all the way to China. Okay? All the way to China. where they find the little fertility dial of the pregnant African women. And you understand? And when they bury the ancient burials, they put the people down in a fetal position. Okay, that's how they was buried. You understand? As if they was inside the mother's stomach. Just like when you in your mother's stomach, you in the fetal position. And so they buried you down into the womb of the earth. You understand? So that you could be reborn in the cosmic mother, the cosmic spiritual mother. And when they put you down in the grave, they would put one of them fertility dials, close to your chest. You would be holding that fertility dial. That lets us know that the most ancient form of spirituality ever was the worship of the African woman. This shit that you niggas got today just came into existence when these cave beasts came down and conquered Africa and parts of Asia, which were our colonies. Not the Hindu you see over there today, where you got these Negroes talking about straight hair, and you want your hair straight, like your eyebrows and all that. That just let you know you ain't done no research. That was just ridiculous. When you look at all the ancient Buddhas, and you can even go to Papua New Guinea, which is beyond China, which is beyond going east, which is beyond Japan. And you see that the Papua New Guineans got they beards and their hair is woolly as hell. Some of that hair on their head is as woolly or even more woolly than some of these brothers and sisters in Africa. Okay, that just lets you know that the woolly haired African stretched from the continent of Africa all across Southern Asia into the South Pacific, including Easter Island, including Australia, including Tasmania. That was a novice mistake. That was a very novice mistake. And so when you see that people are making novice mistakes like that, you already know to leave that shit alone. So now we're establishing why the black woman is God. Number one, she's the creator. She's the creator. And until you are born into this world, you ain't even got a thought. So the most powerful moment of your whole existence is your birth from your mama's womb, which is heaven. And when her womb opened up to let you out, that's the gates of heaven. That's the gates of heaven. Now we got to talk about the woman being the temple. Because not only was she the throne, not only was she heaven, and that's why we say no nation can rise higher than its woman. Okay, when you looking at, and I'm gonna get to the temple. When you thinking about Nut, when you think about Nut as the heavens, being the mother of Ra, which is the sun, that's the cosmological aspect of Isis and Heru. It's the same story. Isis and Heru is anthropomorphic. It's the cosmological story of Nut and Ra told in human aspect. Okay? Our resurrection was patterned on the resurrection of the sun. Okay, so that's how we knew that we were going to be reborn again into the afterlife, because we saw the sun being resurrecting every day. And so we knew that if the sun resurrected, we resurrected. We didn't resurrect in the physical life, we resurrected in the spiritual life. Okay? And in order to be reborn, you had to be reborn through the cosmic womb. Okay? So when we look out into the cosmos, the womb of Nut is the black hole. The black hole. That's the womb of Nut. See, so when you talking about all that Big Bang shit, they didn't, write down the spiritual aspect. See, the Big Bang is that cosmic orgasm that happened to where, everything in existence came to be. It came from a cosmic orgasm That was the bang, nigga. But they raped it down from its spiritual aspect. You understand what I'm saying? They raped it down from it. And so you got a cosmological story, which is Nut and Ra. You have the anthropomorphic story, which is Aset, Heru, and Asa, which is nothing but the sun. Aspects of the sun told in an anthropomorphic story. Anthropomorphism is where you take cosmological entities and give them human-like characteristics. Okay, just like they say, the man in the moon. Ain't no man in the, but that's anthropomorphic. So, Heru as the child is the sun, reborn into the world. Osiris is the dead king. He's the sun in his decline. Okay, and Ra and Heru is the new sun being resurrected, a new day. Okay, and then you also have a zoomorphic part of the story because Aset is also the sacred cow. She's also the golden calf. Okay, that's why you see, why? Because she's a nourisher. She's a provider. Okay, ain't no man providing shit. We've been praying to these masculine deities and they ain't never done shit for us. That woman is the one, when you come out, ain't no child ever cried for no goddamn church. Ain't no child ever came out the womb crying to go down to a mosque. Okay, ain't no child ever came out the womb crying to go down to the synagogue. It knows who its God is, and it knows who can sustain it. It already know because, you know, a child is on the inside. It's being fed, right? If I'm mistaken, it's being fed from its umbilical cord and the placenta as she eat. Now, when that child come out the womb, the mouth is already suckling. You can see the mouth. It already know, and it ain't never been out the womb yet. It ain't never been out the womb, and it's already mouth already moving to get on that breast. Already moving. You'll see that child mouth moving. It's hungry. It already know. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the child's God. And then you can't eat no damn Bibles, can't eat no Qurans, can't eat no Torah. And so that woman sustains you, feeds you. She's the provider. She's the golden calf. Okay, she's the nourisher. Now you got all these masculine deities, and they the providers. They the I ain't never seen a man nourish a child. Ain't never seen ain't no Similac goddamn 3,000 years ago. They just started that old synthetic way of feeding the children. You know, it was the woman. So you come up on your mama, and she's the one that teach you your numbers, teach you your alphabet, teach you language, teach you mathematics, teach you everything. And now these niggas is gods and kings, and they looking down on the woman. And most of these niggas is sleeping on their goddamn mama and grandmama couch right now. Okay? A lot of these niggas is sleeping, and that's okay if you is, but if you God and you still making sandwiches and shit, sneaking around at night in granny house and shit and creeping in a goddamn refrigerator, and you did not you God and you king and she not God, there's something psychologically wrong with your ass. You understand? There's something you will never be bigger than Big Mama. Nigga, never. I wouldn't give a fuck what your God, your prophet, or any of them niggas ever wrote in the goddamn book, because his ass had to come through the same way as anybody else. If his mama had not fed him and nourished him and provided for him, that prophet and that goddamn God will be somewhere in the goddamn ground just like anybody else. He's not above his mama. So we establishing that the black woman, the African woman, is God. She is God. And I don't want you to argue about it, because when you was praying to Jesus, when you was praying to Allah, when you was praying, you didn't even speak about the black woman as a form of deity. You was all right with the imbalance. That's why the white man is imbalanced. And so you was all right with that. As soon as you heard that the black woman was God, you niggas started foaming. Nigga, it's like you done put a fucking anomaly in your fucking hard drive that fucked you up. You understand? Because when you say the black woman is God, that only means she's a part of, she is the whole, she damn near the whole part. Yes, the man passes on his seed. But after that, that nigga gone. He disappeared. He's gone. He could die. You understand? But if in the ancient, if that mama died, you in threat. Your existence is in threat. If you ain't got another sister that usually come along, usually in Africa, if the mama die, some other sisters take that baby. Ain't no goddamn man can raise no baby. He gonna need some form of a woman to feed that baby. Okay, so she is the nourisher. She is the provider. Now we get into the temple. We get into the temple now. So when we look at Aset being the throne, her sister Nebhet was the temple. And that's why when you go to all of these great cathedrals in Europe, Notre Dame, okay? And when you go to Turkey, the Hagia Sophia, okay? They name after women because the true temple is the body of the black woman, okay? This is where everything takes place that's divine, okay? And so what is these niggas doing today? They spitting on the temple of African people, okay? If you selling that woman poison, you understand? She putting that poison in her body. It's going into her womb, going into her children, nigga. You are defiling the temple. And God damn it, we have to, and I'm very harsh on niggas selling that shit to women. You know what I'm saying? I'm very harsh on you niggas. You understand what I'm saying? Because that is the temple. That is the incubator of our nation. And that's why our children, you look at the children and you wonder why they in the predicament they in. Then that's, the sisters got to rise above that, where they putting all this poison in their body. Because you the sacred temple of Africa. And you want to know why we in the predicament we in, because a lot of the poison that we putting in our body and also a lot of the poison that we putting in our mind. Okay, so when we talking about the African woman as the temple, when you see the two pylons in front of the temple, okay, those are the legs of the African woman parting. And then you see that one little piece in the middle. It's like an empty piece in front of the pylon. When the sun rise up and come up that pylon, because when you go into the Holy of Holies, that's the womb. When you go into the Holy, where the deities is in the Holy of Holies, that's the birthing house within the temple of the gods. This is where the gods, so the temple is the woman. And when that sun come up, you'll see that when it rises in between them pylons, representing the sun being born into the world. Okay, so the temple is the woman. The temple is the woman. The throne is the woman. The law is the woman. The laws of the universe, how these planets are moving and they synchronize. You understand? Ain't nothing crashing. Everything is moving in divine order. That is the spirit of the African woman. Okay, y'all niggas got to get y'all mathematics together. Y'all didn't add that shit up right. Okay? Y'all need, and I see you niggas. You niggas is out there running around with Becky and Julie and all that other shit. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. That's what you're doing. You understand? You're running around out there with these other peoples, God damn it. You understand what I'm saying? And that you ordaining, you understand, the fall of your own family, God damn it, to lift another woman up that don't give a goddamn about your ass. Don't give a goddamn in sucking the life out of your ass. Okay? And here you got the greatest woman on the planet ever gonna walk the goddamn planet. Right there you miss, and you ain't doing nothing to uplift that woman. When you uplift the woman, you uplift the children. You wonder what's wrong with the children? You ain't uplift her mama. And these young brothers not gonna respect you as their father when you let this damn beast jump on his mama every day, and nigga, you jumping on her with your weak ass. You jumping on her with your weak ass. And so, this sister is gonna have to teach her sons to be the conquering lion. Even if that young man got to conquer his own damn daddy, so be it. Even if that son got to conquer his own damn daddy, so be it. Those are your children. But you got to get your mind right, sister. You got to get back to your divinity. It can't be about, being hateful towards the man, because, your son is coming up. He going to be the one that you ordained the new king. So you can't be hateful against African manhood. You got to uplift African man so he can do what he's supposed to do. See, just like when you see our set, when Osiris failed and he was murdered, it was our set that pieced Osiris together. She went around the whole nation to find, because Set had placed a piece of Heru all over Egypt, and she went around the whole nation to piece them back together. Okay, and she one part of the holy king that she did not find was his phallus, and so she prayed and prayed, and she wept. You see her weeping. You see, and this is where the Muslims and all them get their prayer, their prostration from. You see how Set, when she prostrate like this, she's weeping for Osiris. And so the great God Amun-Ra, the great god Tahuti, the great god Ampu, Anubis, all came together and helped that sister and fulfilled her prayers. And for, a small amount of time, a spiritual phallus came upon Osiris. And she descended on that spiritual phallus as a falcon and received the holy sperm. And from that, she was impregnated. And from here, you have the first immaculate conception ever in history. She gave birth to the holy son, the divine son, Heru. This is where it comes. But the sister is the one, was the guardian angel of her king. Even in his death, she was loyal to her king. And so these niggas is sick. These niggas is crazy. And so you have to have mercy on him. Not to the point where it's at your demise, but you got to have, the utmost respect for African men. Because your fathers, they didn't lay down like this. They didn't lay. So in honor of the fathers that fought the good fight long before we got here, you must honor that and show that to your son. If that nigga can't get it together, then you're going to have to raise up your son to be the king you need for your daughters. That's going to have to be the king you raise. And you raise them all down through history. These niggas don't have the capacity to do it. They can run their motherfucking mouth all they want. They have not stepped up to this beast yet. Okay? And so you must raise your son to be the honorable king that's going to lead African people to liberation. So that's why you got to respect African manhood. Okay, and if that means taking the son have to even dethrone his father, then that's just what it's gonna have to be. That's just what it's gonna have to be in order to set this shit right. Because he's been given all the opportunities afforded him to step the fuck up. And if the people is begging for liberation and they crying out, and he does not have the capacity to do what he's supposed to do, then you are to raise your son to dethrone these niggas and be the honorable king that will lead our people to liberation. Now I want to go out with some things. I want to talk about, economics and so we have to look at the African woman as the global conglomerate. When we're talking about businesses, and we're talking about the global conglomerate is the African woman. Okay, you're talking about what company to invest in. Invest into the black woman. Nigga, because you investing into your nation. Okay, when we run down the science, how the woman do all these things for her children, male and female, then you talking about she's a corporation. She is a corporation. So when we say, what we're going to invest in, we're going to invest in our woman. When you invest in your woman, you invest in your children. And that's Social Security. That's inheritance. That's Social Security. If you want the social the people of your society to have some security, you invest in your woman, which is investing in your children. When it comes time for them pockets, you get some money in, you take some of that money, and I'm not talking about giving this money to the woman so she could run down to Walmart, run to the Gucci store, run just to give it right back. We have to take that and put them resources in an area where we could get some residual back. See, we got to triple up. We got to double up. We need to triple, quadruple, and keep on quadrupling and we got to keep all our resources to ourselves. We are not in any position to give away any of our resources to any goddamn body. Our babies is out here right now with no hope, no future, no nothing. They ain't got no inheritance. They ain't got no social security. They ain't even got a goddamn nation that wants to educate them and give them a future by giving them careers. They trying to lock our damn babies up. They building these goddamn prison systems all over the goddamn country to lock our babies up. So we know what they got planned for our babies. And so if you see this going on, then you know that it is time to take all your resources that you got and invest them into the people, invest it into the woman. See, a nigga, you know what a nigga do? And I've been guilty of it in my life. I don't speak like I'm above nobody. We get a couple of dollars, we'll try to flip it. We'll try to go do something and lose the shit. Come home. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't got nothing. Baby's hungry. The woman done already called grandmama. She done already called grandmama, great grandmama. This nigga done fucked up. I need a couple of dollars. Keep this shit moving. See, that's how they work. They already know you done fucked up. You understand what I'm saying? Instead of coming home, investing in your woman so she can take that money and put it where she needs. Now you looking stupid because you done fucked it up. You see, when you take some of that resource that you got and you buy and you establish yourself with something that's real, you putting that shit up for something that's real, you done got something that's real. Even when you broke, you ain't really broke because you can look back and see shit that you didn't establish. You know what I'm saying? That you got. So all you just waiting is on the next come up. But when you don't establish, you don't take none of them resources, you got a young Pharaoh and he coming out with that powerful website. Niggas should be on it. Soon as it come up, if it ain't up already and you a merchant, now it's time to become. If you got something you gonna pop off, you already got product, you already got ideas, this the time to do it. Because he gonna network this all over the globe. And so you can make international moves. This is the time. Okay? And then when you start building, you can put something off into your community, put something off for your family. Something that can establish you for the long term. See, when you take some of that resource and you establish something, you buy something that gonna always, whether it's a house, whether whatever it is. You understand what I'm saying? Even if you're sitting on it, if you're just sitting on it and you got it and you building it up for a bigger day, that's cool. But at least you got some form of establishment. We got to quit running down here, giving our money to these other people, investing in their children, investing in their people, while they go and build their community up, and then our community is dilapidated, falling down, and we always begging somebody when they gonna come down here. When you gonna build your own shit? You shouldn't be looking downtown or looking to these people to build you nothing. They ain't never done that. So why is you still confused in this day and age, waiting on somebody to do something for your silly ass that you could have been done for yourself? We did the rundown. How you niggas just buy all this goddamn bullshit. You give billions of dollars to the church. You give millions of dollars just on goddamn liquor and weed and all this other shit. And then you sit back and wait on another motherfucker to come build something for you, nigga, that you could build for yourself. So you invest in your woman, but you don't want to invest in your woman, and that's why the white man go invest in your woman. And you wonder why these black women is going to the other side, because in this day, we still crippled as black men We won't take our resources because we hate on each other over every motherfucking thing. We can't even go on the internet where you niggas are doing backward flip for one goddamn woman on the internet. She ain't talking to none of you niggas. Okay, y'all niggas up there flipping and doing all type of acrobat for one goddamn woman. You understand? Ain't none of you niggas gonna get her. And you hating on the next nigga just to get a couple of likes and a couple of, you know, so you can, I see a whole goddamn row of niggas on one woman. I would never, ever lower myself to chase after another woman where it's about 100 niggas in the goddamn comments. I'm a motherfucking king. I'm not putting no goddamn comments down in there with a bunch of other thirsty ass niggas. That just let me know where y'all niggas' minds at. And you see the next nigga in there with all that garbage, and the next, and you think she gonna see you above all these niggas? Y'all niggas is simple and hate on the next man for a woman you ain't gonna never get. You niggas is weak. You niggas is weak. And then when you see a real king come along, God damn it, that even, you know, you look in the mirror and it just is, you know, you see your weakness. When you look at a strong king, you see your own weakness. But instead of you pulling yourself up and straightening yourself out, you fall even lower, nigga. In here playing Twitter fingers, hating on a nigga, flagging videos, and then come on here talking about you a king and you a motherfucking god. You's a hoe, nigga. You's a hoe. You's a hoe, nigga. So you got to wake up today, nigga. I believe social media has been the most devastating thing since dope. Nigga, social media has been the most devastating thing since dope. That's fucking these niggas' heads up. So you niggas better wake up today. You niggas better wake up because this sister, you done created a lot of, you must design the social structure of where this shit gonna go. You must do this and not in no arrogance, not in no hate for the black man, the African, because you must, you know, have some, you know, some love for your son and some of these kings out there that is trying to do right. Okay? Just like there's some sisters out here doing wrong. I don't never say nothing. You know, even though I don't agree with nothing that they doing, I lead us, you know, the sisters that's aware to take care of that. You understand? I don't agree. You understand? When I say the black woman is God, that means that the sisters is, you know, fulfilling the highest ideals, not the low high. That don't make her God. When she live out the highest ideal, that's what make her God. When she living out the highest, when she understand her womb and her body is this, then she understands she can't put that poison in her body. She know that. And any of these niggas out here still selling dope and poison to these sisters, nigga, off with your head, nigga. Off with your motherfucker. I got to say that. You in here poisoning the womb of our people while you sitting out here, bitch, you ain't done shit. And even if you did, nigga, you attacking the nation when you attack that woman. You ain't even got no bloodline when you do that, nigga. You are creating a self-destructive mechanism when you do that. Okay? So ain't no mercy on you, nigga. You could design, you could come together as a brotherhood and been develop all type of corporation and businesses and national plans to come. So if you still in 2018 crawling on your knees, nigga, selling poison to your motherfucking people, nigga, off with your motherfucking head. Off with your motherfucking head. Because I know you could do better. I know you. And so at this point, ain't no motherfucking excuse. So the sister is the national conglomerate. You invest in your woman. She invests in the children. There you get your, you know, this is where you get your social security. This is where you get, you know, your investment. You know, you get some kickback on your investment when you invest in your woman, when you invest in your children. That's where you invest at. So she is the conglomerate, the global conglomerate that we need to be investing in. And then when we come together, we have to do the simple things first. I'm about to end. About to end. About to end. We got to do the simple things first. We can't go doing no big old grandioso thing until we do the simple things first. We have to look in the mirror. Each one of us got to look in the mirror and say, who am I? Who am I? What is my destiny? How do I intend to get there? Who I'm going to take and who I'm going to leave behind when I get ready to go. I'm going to say it to you again. You got to continue to look in that mirror every day, and you have to ask that question. Who am I? Ask that question first. Who am I? Establish first who you are. What is my destiny? What is my spiritual destiny on this planet? What is that? And once you establish who you are, what your destiny is, then you must establish how do you intend to fulfill your destiny? How do you intend to get to your destination? And lastly, who I'm going to take and who the fuck I'm going to leave behind when I get ready to go. Because once you establish what your destiny is, and once you put that blueprint out there for how you intend to get there, you should not let a motherfucker on this planet deter you from getting to your destiny and your destination. Nobody. So that means you're going to have to leave some of these motherfuckers behind. And I mean that. We are African people. Wherever we at on the planet, we are African people. We have a lot of confused individuals. Those are the ones you're going to have to leave behind. Those are the ones you're going to have to leave behind. Do not let them deter you from your destiny. Establish your destiny and you move with it. Okay? And then once we establish where we, the ones that's going in the same direction, then we can begin to unify. But we got to first, as individuals, we have to establish who we are and be serious and know that's who we are. And then once you are sure, 100%, then you will know your destiny. You will know your destiny. You will look back in the past, see the great mothers and great fathers of Africa all over the world and how they moved on the planet, how they established civilization. What was the energy, the rules, regulations, spirituality that they used to build these great civilizations? Then you got a platform. You got policies. See, that's how you build a politic with policies. And the policies is how we move on this planet. You can look and see on the walls how our people move and how we establish that the woman is the global conglomerate. 95% of the spirituality is based around the woman. That's it. And so that don't make you lesser of a man because you establish that fact. She's not going, cut your damn masculinity off because you put her at the center of the universe. She deserves to be at the center of the universe. She's the jewel of Africa. Don't nobody want to go back into no goddamn man and you die and you thinking about some goddamn man. When you think about going back off into the great mother, it's more spiritually enlightening to do that. Okay, no motherfucker going off into no man. That's homosexuality. That's crazy. Okay, so we have established some great policies today. I hope that I fulfill my responsibility as a priest, as a brother of the craft, as a teacher of my people, that these are policies that can be applied right now for our upliftment and rise. I hope that you take some time out tonight, study that SETI self-help program. I've taken it all over the globe. SETI self, who am I? What is my destiny? How do I intend to get there? Who I'm going to take, who I'm going to leave behind when I get ready to go. And you understand what I'm saying? And then once you establish that, what I need when I show up to where I'm going. You understand? When I get ready to go, I need certain things with me when I show up to where I'm going. You understand? But that's part two. But we got to get you through part one first before we go to part two. All right, family, I love you. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for coming out. Yeah, thank you for coming out. Thank you for coming out. would you please share? Please share if you can. My new I still got 120 something people. You understand what I'm saying? So that's beautiful for just coming on on the channel live for the first time. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? That's beautiful. I thank y'all for coming out. If you can share my page, I'm gonna come on and I'm gonna have to go hard in the paint, to get this channel back up. So I'm coming back live tomorrow. If I'm not live, I need to be here. I need to be here teaching in some capacity to get this channel back up and rolling. And if you could help me, you know what I'm saying, spread the word, because people gonna be looking for me. They ain't gonna know where I'm at. If you could share it and let people know that this is my new channel, I appreciate you very much. You know what I'm saying? I love you. This is the General Sara Suten Seti saying, hey, arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. I love you, black woman. Hey, love you, brother, too. Step up and be a king, nigga. General Seti, Miami, May 12th. The information is in the description. Come on down. I need my soldiers. I need y'all to come on out. I need my soldiers to come on out. So if my soldiers hear the call from their general, then there it go. I done sent that call. I need my soldiers in the house. All right, family. I love you. African, ancient Egyptian, black power.
Just when I thought I couldn't find my way out, yeah, I searched the God in me to find my way out. I know it can seem way out, but the Creator flows to and through me from way out. I'm talking way out, yeah. See, if you believe in the God in you, it's a better place. Creating the force and the power to live a better life. Know that love and joy and peace is one in all of the same space. That you were chosen just like God. Your energy. That's right. Only you can make the change. Share your energy. Shine so bright from darkness to light. From darkness to light. Yeah. And you'll find your way.